So in this video, we're going to talk about time vampires, those things that eat up all your time. Biggest things, I'm sure, are going to be phones and email. So I'm sure you're aware that every interruption you get eats up 20 minutes of your day. So by reducing the interruptions, you can significantly be more productive. But how do you do that and still help people who need your time? Well, I would first of all think about encouraging people to use time insensitive ways of contacting you. So instant messaging is good, email is not so good, voicemail is worse. Then obviously people can write letters, but these things don't require your immediate attention, because every time that you're doing something that you have to immediately go back to somebody, that's eating into your day. I like voice notes, either with WhatsApp or Voxer or whatever, providing that people actually think about what they want to say before they start talking and don't just warble on. I try and avoid things like voicemail and handwritten letters, certainly. I did actually get in the post a couple of years ago a support request in the post, handwritten. What's that about? Anyway, so if you do some analysis of your time, I recommend you get an app like Clockify, make some notes and keep an eye on what's happening throughout your day. You'll soon see there's a lot of time that gets eaten up. Now, I'm not saying that you should be the perfect time management person and you should be like Elon Musk and schedule your days in 5-minute increments. But there is a good argument to say that the more time you spend focusing on the things that are actually important, the more valuable that is. And you're only going to know that if you set some goals. And these goals aren't like go hand gliding, climb Mount Everest. The goals are things that you realistically want to get done over the course of the next year. And they should be a little bit aspirational, but certainly achievable. And the idea is you set your yearly goals, your quarterly, your monthly goals. I print my monthly ones, have them on the wall, no more than 8 items at most, 10 really pushing it. And then daily, I just have a list of, and this is an important trick. I have a list of maybe the top 4 or 5 things that I must get done that day. So are you familiar with, if you're not, you need to learn about it, the Get Things Done methodology and Franklin Covey's methodology. So very quickly, get things done. Like if it's only going to take a couple of minutes or less, just do it. Otherwise, if you can delete it, that's good. Otherwise, schedule it. For Franklin Covey, we've got the grid. We've got your A, B, C, D. Whereas across the graph, you've got, maybe I could draw this out, that might be nice. You've got urgency and you've got importance. And then you've got your urgent and important, urgent but not important, not urgent but important. That's your most important sector. That's where your driving seat is. And then the not urgent and not important things, which hopefully you can delete. It's a good way of thinking about tasks. But there's no point in IT support scheduling more than half your day. It's pointless. So I try and schedule around 3 hours a day of stuff that I want to get done that day and slowly chip away at things. So one of my goals is to get this series of videos recorded quickly. So I would like to make them better quality, but it takes time. Anyway, so going back to the time vampire things, let's look at people that eat up your time and what you're going to do with them. So there's always non-technical people that want your help. And while you want to help people, and I want to help people, I have to be realistic. I've only got one life, and is spending an hour helping somebody with something they could easily figure out themselves a really good use of my time? And there is this argument, and I don't necessarily hold by it, but like people will deliberately feign technical lack of ability to get help. I like to think about empowerment. Empower people to help themselves. Give them instructions. You know what's really good? Sorry, this is a bit disjointed, this video. Loom videos. If somebody wants to know how to do something, download Loom. It's free for the basic version. Send them a Loom video. They can just follow the instructions. Much quicker than creating any documentation. Okay, let's move on to the technical side of time wastage and those time vampires. Not documenting things as if you're some kind of special person, that the only person that knows stuff. That's not going to make your life any easier, because all it means is that you're the only person that can do stuff. So when you're installing equipment, label it. When you're setting up stuff for the first time, document it. If there's a process that requires more than 2 steps, document it. And the documentation doesn't need to be complicated. You can create a Loom video. You can just list off the major steps. I've got a separate video I'm going to do on creating great documentation, but don't not do the documentation because it takes too much time. That's why Loom's really good. The point is you start and you create just a document that maybe has 3 or 4 words to start with. The point is now the document exists. The big mistake people make is they don't document stuff because it's too hard. Keep things organised, keep things tidy. I'm quite a disorganised clutter person, so I like having stuff documented. You do A, B, C, D, E, and then steps don't get missed. If somebody's trying to look at something, I've had this in the past where I said, can you restart the firewall? And then it's all neat and tidy and the equipment's labelled and it clearly says firewall, blah, blah, blah. It's very easy. You know what it looks like. And also, every site that we look after, everything's all the same equipment. It's all labelled the same as much as we possibly can. Makes things a lot simpler. And that's the thing here. You want to simplify your life by making things consistent. So I've got all the same socks. They're all the same colour. They're all the same size. Actually, I've got 2 ones. I've got short and long now. But makes it very easy. I don't waste time organising socks. I make sure my car is full of petrol. That way I don't waste time going to the petrol station all the time when I'm going to be late for something because I've got to stop for fuel. When I'm trying to go somewhere, I've already put in my diary the location into the diary appointment. Saving time here. And these little things can just eat up your life. So that's it. That's all I want to share with you today. So have a think about those things that really, really burn through your time and how you can eliminate them or automate them. Eliminate first, remember, like Elon Musk was saying, that the worst thing you can do as an engineer is optimize something that shouldn't exist in the first place. So I hope that's of some use. Please let me know if you've got any thoughts, questions in the comments below, because at some point I will record this video again and make it even better. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.